that is certainly a signal that we take away from last night. And good morning here from Stuttgart. I think what we've seen is that the party, the Conservative Party under Angela Merkel, has built up this image as being indispensable, as being the natural governing party in Germany. And since last night, that image is fading away. We've seen in both states, in Baden-Württemberg and in Rhineland-Palatinate, that actually the parties can form governments without the CDU, and that is the signal from last night.
Excuse me, by the way, my manners are appalling. Good morning to you from London as well, Arne. Absolutely appalling of me not to say that. Now, look, in terms of what looks most likely on a national basis, does the state and national votes differ quite dramatically? Because, of course, in a lot of regional elections, it becomes a protest vote for many voters. But when it comes to the national vote, they change their mind on who they vote for.
Yeah, we are seeing a fundamental shift in Germany's political system, I would say, over the last years, and this is continuing at the moment. So Germany basically has a fluid six-party system, and out of these six parties, the right extreme AfD is not part of the democratic spectrum, but basically all other five parties are being able to form governments, and we've seen an increasing fluidity on the state level, and these state levels and the regions, they serve somewhat as laboratories for the federal level. And when you look back the last 10 years, you've seen a dramatic shift on these coalition constellations on the state level. You see that today the new normal is actually coalitions with three parties and not only two parties anymore. We've seen that the former political clans of the political left and the political right, they are somewhat dissolving. So we see coalitions across party camps. And one of the parties that is making the most out of that is currently the Green Party. They've established themselves as the hinge party in Germany's political system. They are able to govern both on the center left and the center right, and they currently govern in 11 out of 16 German states. So they are really they've become a federal political force, even though on the national level they are in opposition. And any new coalition in September on the national level will have to answer the question how they're going to form a majority in the upper chamber, what we call the Bundesrat. Yeah, and there's a colorful diversity of coalition constellations in the Bundesrat, and so we've seen a dynamics and flexibility in the political system and in this election campaign that makes this year so exciting for political observers, and it's such a wide open race today.
And if we talk about how strong the Green Wave is from the perspective, the catalyst behind the weekend result, you're pointing out that there was a lot of personality at play, a little bit of disruption around COVID, and not as much focus on some of the policy issues. And that said, other commentators are pointing out that it was the vaccine rollout that was one of the catalysts behind the result, and clearly it's early days around that vaccine inoculation program. So just give us a sense of where the twists and turns could be here for the Greens.
Well, when we look back over the last 12 months since the start of the pandemic, we've seen a sharp increase in the polls for the Conservative. And I think that was one reaction which is often seen in times of political crises, that people support those in charge and those who are taking care of the crisis. And we see now that this is fading away for the Conservatives. They are, I think, most people say that the vaccination rollout is not going well. And now we've seen the corruption scandal unfolding in front of our eyes. It's still ongoing. And over the past weeks, I think Germans come to realize that Angela Merkel is actually not up for re-election. And this seems to be a bigger challenge for the CDU and the CSU. As you've just discussed in the previous report, it is yet unclear who will try to follow Angela Merkel for the Conservatives as candidate. And I think it looks like there's a gap in terms of politicians on the Conservative side. And it's right now, it looks like a moment of crisis for the CDU in this setting towards the elections.